Hey everyone, I'm John Hardesty. Welcome to Devotionables. These are brief devotions for busy people. Today we're going to be in Numbers chapter 32. But before we jump in, I'm going to provide just a little bit of context. Israel has been wandering in the wilderness for some time. They're entering the promised land and they're beginning to experience victories over these enemies and inhabitants of the land that are resisting them. There's King Og, King Sihon, their nations, the Midianites. God has provided victory for the people of Israel, and there's this open land that's ready to be taken, ready to be claimed. And we're going to start off our passage with Reuben and Gad essentially calling dibs on the land, like, we want that. So verse 1, now the people of Reuben and the people of Gad had a very great number of livestock, and they saw the land of Jazer and the land of Gilead, and behold, the place was a place for livestock. Verse 5. And they said, if we have found favor in your sight, let this land be given to your servants for a possession. Do not take us across the Jordan. If we stop for a moment and recognize this is a pretty bold claim. Israel's been working together to defeat these kings and these nations. And Reuben and Gad are essentially saying, you know what, you go on without us. We're going to take this land. Good luck. You're going to face enemies. You're going to face resistance. But I'm sure you can handle them yourself. This is a bold ask, and Moses doesn't let him get away with it. Verse 6, but Moses said to the people of Gad and to the people of Reuben, shall your brothers go to the war while you sit here? Why will you discourage the heart of the people of Israel from going over into the land that the Lord has given them? Moses goes on to rebuke them by reminding them of their father's generation who failed to enter the promised land. If we remember, spies went into the land and they came back with discouraging reports. No, we shouldn't go in. There's people who will hurt us. They'll kill us. Verse 14, and behold, you have risen in your father's place a brood of sinful men to increase still more the fierce anger of the Lord against Israel. For if you turn away from following him, he will again abandon them in the wilderness, and you will destroy all this people. Moses is saying if you repeat what your fathers did and you keep the people from claiming the land that God has given to them, God's not going to deal kindly with you. He's going to, again, cause you to walk in the wilderness, if you will. So they adhere to Moses' instruction. Verses 16, we will build sheepfolds here for our livestock and cities for our little ones, but we will take up arms, ready to go before the people of Israel until we have brought them to their place. And our little ones shall live in the fortified cities because of the inhabitants of the land. We will not return to our homes until each of the people of Israel has gained his inheritance. So what do we do with this today? Let's bring this into our context just a little bit. Imagine, if you will, you're watching a football game. The quarterback's having a great game. It's the third quarter. And he looks at his stat sheet and he's realizing he's doing pretty good. He's got a couple touchdowns. He's thrown for a couple hundred yards. And he just decides, you know what? I think I'm done. I'm going to let you guys take it from here. My stat sheet looks great. That would be absurd. The team's going to come around him and essentially say that we need you. The game's not over yet. Come on, let's get in the game. Let's finish this fight. A basketball player, same thing. It's the third quarter. He's got a triple-double and just says, you know what, I'm kind of tired. I'm going to back out and let you guys finish it. This would be absurd for us to see if we were watching this game, but I think we might have a tendency to do the same thing in our spiritual life. Perhaps we're the type of people to look at our own spiritual stat sheet, our spiritual maturity that the Lord has graciously granted us, and think we've arrived at our spiritual promised land. We might say, you know what, I'm doing pretty good. My family and my kids are walking with the Lord, etc., etc. And that may be true. We ought to pause and say, like, Lord, thank you for this gift that you have given us. But the game isn't over. We can't stop there. Let's pause, be grateful, but let's consider our brothers and sisters who are around us, who are still in the battle. They still have spiritual ground yet to cover and battles to be fought. Let's not leave them to fight alone. God didn't intend for us to fight this battle alone or live this Christian life as individuals all on our own. But as one body, we're to be one family of God, working and fighting for one another. Paul says as much in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 4, verses 15 to 16. Rather, speaking the truth in love, we are to grow up in every way into him who is the head, into Christ, from whom the whole body, joined and held together by every joint with which it is equipped, when each part is working properly, makes the body grow so that it builds itself up in love. This is a work together. Let's be grateful for the spiritual blessings we've been given, absolutely, while striving alongside our brothers and sisters for their spiritual growth and maturity. The game isn't over yet. Let's not quit, and let's keep working.